Fully present is a completely different energy than guarded and fearful. And in all of the situations you were in before, there was an element of being guarded and fearful because you were subconsciously protecting your energy. It all comes back to the reason you withdrew in the first place was because you did not know how psychic you were. You did not know how sensitive you were. Now you know, and now you can own that. And now you have power over that. No one else has power over that. The awareness is your protection. You don't have to be guarded. You don't have to be fearful. You can really approach everything in life with a completely different mindset of how is this going to be joyful? How can I bring my essence that I uncovered? How can I bring my goo to this party? Sounds like a weird party. There are a lot of us that are waiting for just the right time, just the right situation, just the right circumstances to emerge. So many light workers and healers and artists have been cocooned and separated from kind of mainstream stuff going on. Like it feels like you've withdrawn. You can't become a butterfly until you're done being a caterpillar. And that in-between stage is the healing journey. When you are feeling solid again, when you have been through the goo and you have found the best parts of yourself and restructured yourself to be the person that can live the life you came to live and fulfill the purpose you came to fulfill, when you become that person, you start to feel restricted in your cocoon. So you'll know this is for you because you are feeling a little restless, but not sure what direction to go in. You know you want to do something, but maybe not exactly sure what you want to do, and also maybe not sure if other people want this from you. Multiple messages coming through. The first feels like if you were waiting for the right time, there isn't a right time. It just is the becoming. It is when it feels natural. It's whenever you decide to stop resisting the impulse to do it. There was a reading a little while ago about resisting the thing that you are most called to do, and it kind of building up a wall of resistance around that thing. And every time you have that impulse to do that thing, and you resist it because you're like, well, I don't really have time today, or I have all these other obligations and I don't have space for that right now. That is resistance. You making a reason or excuse to not do the thing that you are feeling the impulse to do. That impulse is divine inspiration. It is a desire. And every time you find a reason to not do that thing, it builds resistance around that thing, and it makes it more and more difficult for you to just jump in and do it. This is your sign to jump in and do it. There are some of us that want it to be perfect. There is such a competitive nature around everything these days, but this is also your confirmation. You don't have to participate in the competition. You are perfectly able or perfectly capable, perfectly valid. Like you're waiting for something to like legitimize you. You're waiting for other people to validate your whatever it is that you're doing. But when other people are validating, it's like they're comparing, and in your mind it feels there's comparison too. So if you're an artist, you're looking at your art and you've been working on it and you love it and all of that, but it's not quite perfect yet because you're looking at all of the other art in the world and comparing your art to that. And you are no longer in a space of comparison or competition. You have transcended all of that. Those are strategic limitations for the purpose of taking something further. There are people with a competitive nature. There's nothing wrong with competition unless it's stopping you from doing the thing that you feel most called to do. So for people that are very competitive, that competition and that comparison gives them a goal. You are a person that doesn't need to see how somebody else is achieving or performing or creating in order to know how you want to create or what you want to create. So feel confident and feel reassured that it's fully okay to withdraw from a competitive mindset, period. If you are afraid to share what you do and what you create because you think other people will compare it to other people's stuff, that's your own voice in your own head putting that limitation around you. You have transcended competition. Everything is relative, and you are not in the space anymore of needing to be motivated by someone else's success, to need to observe someone else's creation so that you have clarity on what you want to create. You have transcended that space. So now back to the goo. That's what you were doing in your goo phase. Like when you were withdrawn, when you were healing, when you were doing shadow work, when you were isolating, when you were taking care of yourself, when you were getting to know your essence after all of the roles and limitations and all the hats you were taken off and removed. It's like you stripped yourself down to your essence, and now it's time to emerge with that essence. Some of us are waiting for the call from other people. So it's not about competition for some of us. For some of us, we're waiting to be of service, and we're waiting for others to tell us what they need from us, and it doesn't work like that anymore. You've transcended that too. You are in a space where what you are called to make and what you are called to create and share is exactly what others are looking for. You have to create it. Like it's, like if you build it, they will come. It's exactly like that. If you create, if you share, the people that want exactly that will find you. And it is conserving of your energy, but also it's more pure. The creation that you offer is more pure because it's coming from a place of deep joy and desire, and not from a place of wanting to serve someone else's desires. Does that make sense? And I think the final sort of message here is when you don't know what you want to share. That is a beautiful space to be in. It's in between. Something cleared. That's a beautiful space to be in because you are in between. In that liminal space, you are kind of still healing and building your confidence, kind of rooting within your new energy. It's okay if you don't know what you want to share, but it feels strongly that you want to share something. Share your voice. It will make itself clear. We also have the King of Swords. Your purpose will become clear, but it comes first from following your desires. A lot of times we set our desires aside because we don't know what they are. So many empaths isolate and withdraw from social circles and social situations because our energy gets muddied. It gets confusing at first, before you know how to feel the difference, before you're good at managing your energy and working within your own energy. it can get confusing to be around other people. You can be influenced by other people's energy, even if they aren't saying anything. So you could have had like a long history throughout your life of not knowing what you want, or thinking you know what you want when really it was other people's desires and you just wanting to help them get what they want. It's a little bit like people pleasing, but like mostly it's really that innate pull for a light worker, for a healer, for a humanitarian to like be of service. You just want to be of service. You just want to help. You just want to lift people up. So in the withdrawing from other people, you've gotten a handle on your energy, and now you're still coming into knowing what your desires are and trusting in your desires, trusting your intuition, because it feels like you are someone who is very strongly influenced by other people's expectations and just their energy. Just being around other people affected your energy and your thoughts. Like, we don't always think of psychic energy in that way. It would be nice if it was like really straightforward and you could hear exactly the words they were thinking, but it isn't like that. If you don't know how psychic you are, you will not even realize that you're doing it. You will not even realize that all of your behaviors, all of your actions, all of your decisions are coming from a place of being influenced by other people. So for those of us that don't really know what we want to do or what we want to share, if you're feeling that restless energy, like I want to get out of this cocoon, but I don't know where to fly, I don't know where to go once I emerge, that's okay. The clarity will come once you start practicing trusting your intuition, once you start giving into your desires, the things that sound fun, do them. Like, don't judge it. It feels like you're still in a space of judging those impulses because they seem whimsical or they seem frivolous. They feel silly. That's in your head. That's overthinking. That's running it through the filter of what everybody else will think or expect from you. So you are still in the space of letting that voice kind of die out and replacing it with your own, like, why not? Like, why not try it? Why not do this? Why not have some fun? Like, why not? Isn't this supposed to be joyful? Like, isn't this life supposed to be fun? Like, lightening up because you've been in the goof phase and you've been like feeling icky. So lightening up is what gives you clarity. I'm like, especially in that King of Swords energy, but like the idea of just like elevating, being light as air, light as a cloud, and the lighter you are, the higher up you go and the more you can see and the more clarity you have. And in that clarity, you will be able to see, or in that higher perspective, you will be able to see where your gifts might fit in. You'll be able to see like little pockets of like gaps where there's just like shadow, and you're like, because that's really all we want, right? Like, as light workers, that's really all we want, is to know where to shine, where to fill in the space with love, where to find the cracks and fill in the cracks. So the clarity will come. Let it be light, let it be joyful, follow your desires. We also have the Fool and the Ace of Wands. These are so pretty. What? Oh, they're so pretty. Sorry, I'm like a crow. Shiny. This is a whole entire new chapter. This is you emerging into the world as your like most evolved form, having integrated all of the pieces of you that are beautiful, that were left behind, that were unseen. It is the transmutation of everything you've been through. It is the like the ultimate expression of everything that you have found in this lifetime. And this feels like a synthesis of all of the lifetimes, because this is a huge time in humanity, and the call for your light has never been stronger. You chose to be here at this time to express something. And I feel like for so many of it, like definitely for me, like I thought the healing journey was it. I was like, whew, that was rough. I guess I just get to sit and meditate now. And like, what? No, that's only the beginning. The healing journey and the withdrawal, if you have felt like you're like antisocial and you can't participate in regular stuff anymore, that is going to end. You're going to realize that the call for your light is not only in spiritual spaces or in like certain contexts. Like the call for your light is 24/7. That doesn't mean pouring out your energy or like doing the most for everyone around you. That just means being your full authentic self in everything that you participate in. I feel like the last part of the message here is about why it's important to share this. There are so many fake things in the world. There are so many fake people. There are so many imposters, and like we don't need to get tangled up in it. But being aware that that's happening and knowing that you are an authentic voice that is here to spread kindness, that is here to cultivate joy and love, that is here to shine your light and spark the light within someone else. That is not ever serving the collective if you keep it hidden. You had to keep it hidden for a certain amount of time because you were healing. You were learning what it was to be yourself. And now you have learned. And now the emerging is going to happen. You are not serving even yourself by hiding your light, by dimming your light. It is time to come out. It is time to emerge from the cocoon. It is time to fly. And we will find each other. So that's part of it too. If you have been feeling lonely, that loneliness was on purpose. Keep in mind that it may have been a conscious decision to remove yourself from people, to kind of be a homebody, to not want to participate, to decline the invitation, to say no to the event. That was a conscious decision. But it wasn't because you're antisocial, it's because your energy was being so influenced by other people's energy. And it's not that you don't like people, it's that your energy was not able to sustain itself around other people's energy. That has changed. That is different. That has shifted for you. In your most evolved form, you are able to hold your vibration no matter what comes. And that gets stronger and stronger and stronger the more you practice. So it's really pivoting from like, oh, I don't want to be around that person, to, ooh, I think I can bring out the best in that person. Or like, ooh, I don't really want to go to that event. It's going to be really crowded and it's going to be loud. To like, I feel like this is a good practice thing for me. And if I don't like it, I can just leave. I can just be like, oof, I don't feel good, I'm leaving. Testing yourself with a joyful mindset, shifting out of a state of fear or a mindset of I'm afraid this isn't going to feel good, or I'm afraid of what might unfold that might be bad or uncomfortable, to really, really being certain and confident in your light and in the sustaining of your light in any room, in any circle, in any situation. And I feel like maybe, so If you are feeling called to this, you're like, yeah, okay, I feel good. I'm still a little afraid, but I feel like I want to do it. I'm restless, feeling restless. That's the underlying tone to this whole entire message, is a restlessness in the energy, wanting to move something, wanting to take this newly healed, evolved form of yourself and do something with it. So I feel like the last piece of the puzzle might be to work on your throat chakra. Because if you have been not around a lot of other people, then you may have not been practicing communicating or speaking, maybe not even listening. If you've been very mindfully curating, like the mental diet, if you've been very mindfully curating what you consume, what you listen to, what you watch, that means all of the stuff you've been filling your head with is of your own choosing. It is, oh, this podcast makes me happy. Oh, this lecture makes me feel optimistic. Oh, this is some wisdom that I've been wanting. Like, it's you intentionally curating everything that you're consuming. And not that you're not listening, but listening to another person's point of view, or listening to another, like being in a conversation with another person, is a completely different thing. And I'm feeling they're like kind of showing the throat chakra like a muscle. And I have like the most crazy frog in my throat. This is absolutely, this is nuts. They're showing the throat chakra like a muscle. And in that withdrawal from the people you normally interact with, or just choosing not to speak on whatever's going on, that muscle kind of, it softens up. So it's a call for you to like start to practice a little bit, listening and speaking from a place of authenticity, not on autopilot, not playing your role in the sim, like literally like feeling in your gut what's going on around you, like being fully present. Fully present is a completely different energy than guarded and fearful. And in all of the situations you were in before, there was an element of being guarded and fearful because you were subconsciously protecting your energy. It all comes back to the reason you withdrew in the first place was because you did not know how psychic you were. You did not know how sensitive you were. Now you know, and now you can own that. And now you have power over that. No one else has power over that. The awareness is your protection. You don't have to be guarded. You don't have to be fearful. You can really approach everything in life with a completely different mindset of how is this going to be joyful? How can I bring my essence that I uncovered? How can I bring my goo to this party? Sounds like a weird party. Sounds like a cool party. So I think that's our message for you today. Thank you so much for being here. I love you so much. Please take care.